1995. And Desmond, you are working your day job at one of America's national parks. You can share which one if you know what that is off the top of your head, but if not, we can just leave it as a minor detail.
I get assigned to places all over the Appalachian Trail.
Okay.
Mostly as a VIP trail guide. some bougie easy work, as it were.
All right. But it is late one evening, and you're on. You're due to have a shift change. You're on Firewatch just for the last sort of 2 hours of your shift. You're covering for someone else, and you get a call come through on the radio in Morse code, which is weird. No one really uses that anymore. They just pick up the radio and talk. You take a little while, quickly hammer the Morse code out, and it's an invite to a night at the opera, asking you to attend New York Public Library in about 36 hours time. You come down from the tower and head back to presumably like the main headquarter building for the park rangers in the area, and inside your locker someone has stuffed a return ticket to New York for the next morning. Dutifully get some sleep, and on the next flight over, not even 12 hours later from you getting that message, you're stepping out of a cab in front of New York Public Library, and you head up the stone steps, and you know which table to head to by now. You bump into, sitting at the table, I should say, is the familiar face of your handler and agent Marcus. He's a sort of a really unassuming gentleman in his mid-30s, kind of the typical sort of nondescript, almost FBI agent. Probably played sports in college. Yeah, he's got that sort of the look of someone who keeps himself just in shape enough to be a threat, but at the same time, like glasses, and if he put on a sweater, you'd think he was a family man. It's a well hidden, and he sits down opposite, and there's a manila envelope on the table as he awaits your approach.
So, Desmond, as he walks towards this table, there's a lot of rustling under this very large. I think it's called a puffer jacket, and as he sits down, he pulls this almost chest length brown hair out of his face and looks directly at his handler. So, more than the usual, or we going somewhere else?
Pushes the manila envelope with just one hand and slides it across the table to you. Gestures for you to open it.
Right, talking to myself. Understood. And I take it and begin to leaf through what I assume to be the contents of a message from the agency.
Yeah, and you see there are details of a building in Manhattan, the Macallister Building. Looks to be a building of tenants that are art students, and it's owned by a company called Art Life, who tenants the Art Life are a company that basically puts up young artists and aspiring artists, and allows them to sort of live in, at this point in time, 95, with the Met funding so much, New York School of Art, stuff like that. There's a lot of art students, and they all need places that are central with very low rent. That's what Art Life provides. So you can live in the middle of Manhattan for coins rent, living in one of these buildings, and you get selected for it. So it's talented people that live there. And attached to that is a photo of a young woman, looks to be in her early to mid 20s, with shoulder length brown hair and quite bright brown eyes, looking straight at it. It's almost like a headshot, this photo. Leans in and kind of places his hand, just taps the photo briefly. So here is Amanda Wright. She went missing some time ago. Lived in the Macallister Building. Father is a military big shot, so got flagged as a missing persons report earlier than usual. And the FBI conducted a preliminary search of the building, declared no unusual activity, left it to the NYPD, who discovered evidence and symbology of a demonic nature, demonology, and, well, you know why we're involved now.
You're talking about like cult worship, like the things they told us to worry about in church school, like.
All I can say is the symbol we found is associated with demonology, and that is all you are cleared to know.
Right. Okay. How am I getting there? I guess.
By cab, it's 20 minutes across town.
Right. Yes. I can do it on my own.
Oh, we've got some friendlies on standby. They're going to be meeting you in Central Park in about an hour. On top of that,
right.
We weren't able to find an art specialist on such short notice that is in the loop, so we had to pull one from the FBI parole program. He'll be waiting for you at the building, and he is blissfully unaware of the things we deal with. And can roll human for me.
D100. Bada bing. 003.
That's a crit. So,
sick.
Good start. I'm gonna give you a bit extra there. Through this entire conversation, he has been. You notice that he's placed himself in the very back corner of the room with his back to the wall, and he has been sort of leaning back, looking to his left, down. You're in like a really secluded corner of the library. He's been looking over your shoulder frequently through the conversation. He is worried about something, or maybe someone. It's evident that he's in a state of paranoia. And he leans in, his voice kind of lowers a few decibels. He says, look, the group is in a state of flux at the moment. There are things happening in South America, things happening within the group itself. It's messy. That's why we don't have a full team of agents on this one, and we had to pull friendlies. I trust you to get this done. This is a loose end that needs to be tied up quickly.
Yes, sir. That's what I'm here for.
Good. And you see him like visibly exhale at that point as well. And he takes a look just behind you again. Central Park, 1 hour. And if you need anything, he gives you like a post-it note that has a number on it for like his pager. Just page me. But please try not to need me for anything. You should have everything you need to get this done. And be careful you're not followed. He gets up and swiftly leaves.
All right. I quickly tuck these documents into various pouches that seem to not even open as I slide things into them, and then using my decent enough stealth skill, I'm just gonna slip out of this library and start making my way to Central Park.
Yeah, what's your stealth skill sitting at?
60.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I won't make you roll. That's decent enough. And yeah, so you slip out and you make a point of like you walk around the block, and then kind of walk over 2 blocks, and then down 1, and then like you get a cab, like not to Central Park, but like away from Central Park a little bit, and then you kind of walk past Central Park and you double back it. You're doing all everything that you've been taught by the group over the years to give people to sleep, and you're pretty confident you're not followed. You've been given the precise meeting place is to be sitting at the Central Park fountain, and one of the group that you're to meet will be holding a yellow balloon. And as you arrive, you spot 2 figures sitting by said fountain.
I will start to move towards these 2 figures, granted that they have the yellow balloon. And as I do, there is this sort of clunk of a very, very cheap looking extendable walking stick that I have kept in my bag. And I'll just walk slowly up to these 2 figures.
And
you 2 look like fans of the opera.
And yeah, Eliza, Remmy, what do Eliza and Remmy see as you approach them? Get a full description.
Okay, full description.
Yeah.
There is a hidden behind several layers of what appears to be winter clothing, even though it's not too harsh here. There is a 5'2", 260-pound white man. He has long, unkempt, perhaps unwashed brown hair that comes down, framing his face very tightly. But you can see that where the hair is parted, he has this underbite that's fairly pronounced, and he seems to tuck the hair in front of it to sort of hide it. And he walks with a bit of a hunch, but you can see that he has a weird bit of athleticism to him. Almost like that anime old man strength.
Okay, and yeah, you approach the 2 of them as they're sitting at the fountain, and take it away. It's your job to brief them fully.
Oh, fantastic.
Rather...
They didn't respond in any way, so I sort of just stared at them.
We were about to go on a night out, actually. Care to join us?
I do think I will. definitely. I suppose I'm gonna have to tell you about everything that's going on here, but maybe not literally in the middle of, the central of. Maybe we should move to some place where I can talk more. I'm anxiously sort of looking over my shoulders.
Right, of course. We wouldn't want to spoil the show, would we? Let's go.
I'll follow.
Okay, and as you're leaving Central Park, let me just check here. Yeah, Desmond, you're beginning to walk away, kind of walking through, headed towards the nearest exit, when you see sort of there's quite a few people sort of milling through the park. It's a regular sort of afternoon Central Park, right? And you look over to see there's a throng of people that have gathered that are a little more in the crowds off to your right, like maybe 50, 60 feet to your right, and you turn and look to see there's like a crowd that's formed, and they're watching what appears to be a strange looking sort of like harlequin in a gold jumpsuit with like a strange mask, and he moves very strangely and kind of it's like something out of when you recall this in 20 years time, you realise that this is something out of Cirque du Soleil, which in 95 doesn't exist yet, as far as I'm aware. Someone correct me on that if I'm wrong. This thing's sort of twirling and almost like slow motion acrobatics on the spot, moving through headstands, and it turns, and you could swear that it looks you straight in the eye and stops like mid pose, one leg almost in the splits, like above its head, and the other arm out here, like mid motion, just halts its movement and stares at you for a second, locks eyes with you. And
I sort of anxiously kick a stone.
Okay. And as you sort of almost mesmerized by it, you look closer and you see the mask's face has like a smile on it that expose like rectangular teeth, and the eyes are black slits, and it dances on very precise movements, and for the first time you notice it's dragging like a ribbon covered paper dragon through the air with one hand, and it appears to be drawing like patterns in the air.
I take a look at the patterns. Does it, just on a weird thought, does it look like it's drawing anything related to the agency?
Make an int ×5 roll for me, please.
Oh god. What's 13 times 5?
65.
Thank you. That's a negatory. That's a 75.
Okay, you're trying to trace it, but it's difficult because of the ribbons hanging off. The dragon kind of obfuscates its movement a little bit, and he like speeds up and slows down. The movements are incredibly graceful, and almost like otherworldly. And you stare at this paper dragon, and it dips out of your view for a second, and your head quick and moves down, and as you look down, the clown is gone and the people disperse.
You guys did see that, right?
So what?
See what?
Okay, that does answer it. There was, the clown. Did you see the clown thing at least?
Thing. Are you sure you're feeling okay?
I guess it was more like a jester or something like that. It was spinning about a paper dragon like a one of those ribbon dancers. No, not okay.
Eliza?
Sorry. My mind's been on other things today. I'm sorry. I'll try to clear my head. I'll keep a lookout next time.
Oh, I mean, to be honest, it sort of just looked like weird city stuff. I mean, it really could have been nothing. And by this time, I assume we're in some more of a secluded location, or have we been stuck?
You've ducked out of Central Park now, and you're on just kind of walking down the sidewalk on, that runs parallel to the park, and you have about as much privacy as anyone just having an idle conversation on a New York City pavement gets, which, to be honest, is quite a bit because most people aren't interested in what you have to say to one another.
All right.
You can look at the manila envelope now. I can, for you, summarize the contents.
No, I'd love to summarize it. Get the authentic experience here.
Okay.
I won't pull the pictures out yet, but I will say, so I do have visual references for both the person and the building I am about to describe. But basically, something, I guess, supernatural happened in a place called the Macallister Building. It's up in Manhattan, and the idea, it's owned by this company called Art Life, and they pay for all the the galleries and stuff around here need artists, and they need a place to live, so they make it cheap. And the point is, though, that apparently the artists are doing some demonic or devilry art or something, and the FBI didn't see nothing, but the New York PD did see something, which makes me think maybe it just went in there afterwards, or they hit it the first time. I don't know. But basically, it's our go to go in there now, and there's a woman who went missing. It's assumed to be associated with all this nonsense, but we don't know for sure. It's this woman named Amanda Wright, and I will pull out her picture. Woman, mid-20s, shoulder-length brown hair, brown eyes. Apparently she's the daughter of some, I don't know, officer or something, so they put out a search real quick, and I guess we're plan C or something, but you know that it's not really about the general, what he wants. It's about fixing this, so we're gonna go fix things. Yeah?
All right.
So
my interest is certainly piqued.
yeah, so to be clear here, for the sake of operational transparency, at least between the three of you, you are both, Remmy and Eliza, you are both Delta Green friendlies that have been tapped. You were told to meet him here. Desmond is very much the agent in charge as a full agent of the group. So he is running the show on this one. You can, there is plenty of information in that dossier beyond what Agent Mark has told Desmond in the library. Feel free to look at that as you head over, presumably, to the Macallister Building. The address is also contained within the envelope, and you can hop in a cab and head there whenever you like.
I'm going to probably... Has he already put the files on the table to look at?
You're walking along.
Okay, right. Can I see the folder?
I mean, yeah. pull it out and hand it to you. It's
Sounds-
obnoxiously clean.
And
Gotcha.
I can summarize the contents for you.
Well, you said there was more. So
Yeah. So I'm going to summarize that information now.
Hell yeah.
It's Operation Alice. You've been granted clearance to assist the FBI in the collection and typing of evidence from a location of interest involved in this woman's disappearance. The FBI they think it's a kidnapping. You have been, the official cover story is that you've been deputized to the FBI, apart from you, Eliza, who has been officially assigned to the case. So this is interesting because as far as Delta Green is concerned, Desmond is the agent in charge. As far as the FBI are concerned, you're the agent in charge.
Right.
And the rest of you, Remmy, you've been hired as an advisor, considering what was found in the apartment. As part of your FBI cover, you are to catalogue every item and paper in Abigail Wright's apartment.
Well, absolutely.
A symbol associated with demonology and the occult was found at the location. That is what drew the attention of the group in the first place. You are to investigate the location and determine whether an unnatural influence is behind the disappearance. You also have as Agent Marcus mentioned, they didn't have anyone that they could call on at this time with any sort of expertise in the art field. So they had to pull a parolee who is one of the conditions of his parole is that he is to assist in any FBI investigation should that occur. He is waiting for you at the Macallister Building itself. There's also inside the envelope are temporary FBI credentials for everyone here that isn't already a bona fide FBI agent. There's a New York Post article on the case. I'll be putting that into the handouts momentarily. Also the police and FBI files for Amanda Wright herself. The address of the Macallister Building I mentioned earlier on, and a freshly made set of keys to the building and to Amanda's apartment itself, stamped "Do not duplicate." There's also the photograph of Abigail Wright, and as you take a closer look at it, Remmy, you flip it over and you see a sticker on the back of the photo reads "Wright A, 1st of June, 1994.
$1994?
Yeah. And that's the contents of the envelope.
This really proves interesting. And how long has this been going on?
I think about a week, they said. But I don't know if that's the investigation or the whole thing.
Remmy just nods his head and keeps walking.
As far as I know, the investigation itself is pretty new.
I mean,
Check
well, some of the
probably is.
details are startling, if I may say so myself.
I mean, honestly, it's a pretty nice ease into what I assume is going to be something incomprehensible. So, I
We'll
mean,
see.
I'll take it. Yeah, I really do. Honestly, sometimes I hope that it really just was a kidnapping and we can just save her and be done with it. But chin up and all that. Taxi. I just start cutting out of the conversation I'm leading on myself.
Not a problem.
Eliza's going to
Go ahead, Jeff.
tie the balloon to a fence post. I doubt we need it any longer, and carrying it around, she probably doesn't really feel like drawing that kind of attention. So,
Fair. Okay. Just a quick note before you head over there. See whatever you've got in your inventory. you have like 1995 versions of it. So if you've got mobile phones, then you have like instead that sort of thing. But it will function in much
Oh
the
no.
same way.
I'll have a 1995 hatchet. What'll I do? Just
Do I
load
have a
down.
Nokia? Do I have a Nokia?
Do you have a Nokia?
I mean,
Oh no, are Nokias even like?
Are Nokia's a thing in 1995?
hold on.
I
We
wasn't
gotta
a thing.
know.
I was alive.
Sure
but I
was.
2.
Yep. Yes.
There was.
Sure, you have a Nokia.
So my cell phone is a Nokia brick. Let's go. I have a weapon.
You can play Snake on it in the back of the cab on the way over to the Macallister Building.
Let's go.
Unbelievably pog.
OG Snake. The Macallister Building is located on 210 East 32nd Street, and as the cab pulls up, you can see it's got like it's a classic brownstone structure, about 3 stories, with like a faux castle design. It's in Kips Bay in Manhattan. There's like a fake portcullis that hangs above these large double doors. There's like artificial looking ramparts that circle around the windows and the ledges, and there's like cheap concrete gargoyles that watch from like the rooftop as well. And leaning probably rather nonchalantly against the double doors at the front of the building, as you get out of the cab, the 3 of you, Braxton, if you'd like to describe your character, please.
Good thing. You all would see a very long and lanky, tall white man. You see stands probably about 6'3", 6'4", just legs for days. And you see that he's wearing a pair of just jet black skinny jeans that are immensely tight and tapered to his legs and his thighs. He's got on a what looks like a white button-down shirt that's been rolled all the way up past his elbow, so it almost looks short-sleeved. And he's got like a pinstriped vest that he wears that's buttoned all the way down over the white shirt. You see one half of his hair is shaved, leaving bangs hanging over on the other side. And he has a mustache that is kind of pointed off and very straight at the bottom, with a strip from his lip down to his the bottom of his chin. And he's just kind of leaned against the door. You see he kind of takes one hand and brushes the bangs out of his face as you all approach. Right. Hey there, everyone. Hey. Hi. Pleasure. I believe y'all are here to see me. I'm here to help you, right?
Quite.
You're quite the character.
But my name is Broderick. It's pleasure, Broderick McManus. It's absolutely wonderful to meet you all. Super excited to be here. The FBI and the people that have told me I have to be here, or they seem very excited for me to leave them. So here I am with all of you, and I'm now here. What's going on? What are we doing?
I extend my hand to Broderick and introduce myself as Remmy Thoazath.
Remmy Toza, was it?
Thoazath.
Pleasure, Mr. Remmy. Nice to meet you. Did you describe what Remmy looks like and I missed it? Because I might have missed it.
No, I don't think I described him. So standing before you is like a 5'9", olive skin black man with green eyes, very cleanly kept braids with like gold filigree. He's wearing a simple shirt with a nice vest and a pair of like black slack pants that have been pressed and black shoes. And he carries a satchel with a book on his left hip.
He reaches forward and takes your hand. You notice when he grips your hand, he's for such a long and lanky guy. You see the forearm and the muscles on the back of his arms are pretty toned.
Huh?
He looks relatively well built, and he's got a pretty firm grip.
You and John?
Right. Nice to meet you. And you, Miss?
Oh, hello. I'm Agent Eliza. It's nice to meet you.
Agent Eliza. Ooh, we like that. Sounds very, very special. Very special. I'm kind of like an agent, you know. Kind of. I definitely. I all the time. I give them all kinds of information. I'm kind of like an agent myself.
Eliza is a 5'9", woman. She has long red hair, and I think it's down at the moment because she's in civilian wear. She's wearing a sort of like green dress shirt and a black skirt. She's a little bit willowy, but she looks like she has some wiry strength in her. She has green eyes.
Gotcha. And then his eyes kind of shift over. My officer said I was meeting someone named Desmond, and since you're the only name I don't know in the group, you must be Desmond, right?
Yeah, that's me.
All right. Well, I was told that y'all would come get me and tell me what I need to do, and that I would be of great help and importance, which, I mean, let's be honest, I'm always of great importance, but I feel in this particular moment I can be great and important to you. So how can I assist you today?
You
Follow
want
us into the building, and I would love to not have to explain this with several people giving me weird looks.
Well, all right then. I heard that there's like an attraction down in town. It's like some type of artist rolling around with a dragon and a really interesting act.
Oh,
and
okay. So it was real. It was
perhaps
real.
we could go. Is it already over then? Is it done?
I don't know. That the dragon dude just sort of phased out. Gone.
Interesting.
I assume they're an artist. I'm sure they've got some sort of trapdoor, magic. You know, what do they call it? The flashbang stuff. I'm not very
glitter. You're talking about glitter.
No.
Oh, well, that sounds
no,
like what you're
you know.
talking about.
I really
Glitter,
think we run in different circles.
I mean, that seems logical. Sure. So, well, if that's over, then perhaps we could go get a bite to eat. I haven't eaten today. My parole officer was stingy, to say the least. And he kind of like glances over his shoulder back into the building.
No, I got snacks from the plane flight. I whip out the largest bag of trail mix you've ever seen, double M&Ms.
Yes, and you see he reaches a hand towards the bag.
So, I mean, the most I knew about you is that you'd be here. So, what can you do?
Well, I am the most extraordinary artist you'll ever meet, and I have all of the skills and forms of artistry. I can draw, I can paint, I can do all of these marvelous things, and allegedly, according to the FBI, I might be able to procure art in other ways than other people, and things of that nature too. But that's allegedly. I never really did any of that, of course.
Man.
All right.
You at all experienced in art history?
But of
By any
course, of
chance?
course. I know all of the art's history. I've studied art for ages.
I think perhaps we'll need you to discern some kind of historical context behind the things we see. But
So we're going to an art gallery then. That sounds fantastic. Where are we going? What gallery? I've been to most of them here.
I point behind you. This building.
Macallister.
Macallister.
It is.
Macallister Building.
Yeah, that one. It's this is where the art is, and by art, they definitely do mean potential demonic activity and kidnapping.
Right up my alley.
What? But
What? Didn't you read the papers? It's all crazy.
I mean, you should definitely know not to believe everything you read, of course. I mean, it sounds preposterous when you say it out loud, and it sounded preposterous when I read it. So I know that there is paintings and wonderful art, and I'd love to see that, but I don't know what you're talking about, if I'm honest. You sound a little
We're
bit
here
absurd.
to be second eyes.
Right.
Just double check. Are you this boring always? Can I not have fun?
Can I
I'm
make a human roll?
What for?
Just to see if he's being genuine.
Who?
Which one?
Broderick.
Sure. Yeah. And you make a persuade roll, Broderick.
That's 29, so no.
Okay, so that's a fail for you.
Rolled a 70.
What's your persuade?
My persuade is 50.
Right. So the way opposed checks in this work are, so if you both get a success or you both get a fail, the winner is whoever has the if it's a fail, it's whoever's got the less difference between what you rolled and your actual score in that skill. So you both failed.
There is difference.
Yeah.
So my difference would be from a 70, 50, it would be a 20.
20. And what's the difference in yours, Remy?
That would be 19.
So by a single point, you figure out that he, while not lying about what he's telling you, isn't telling you everything.
I smile and continue on with the conversations.
All right, well, in we go. And I just kind of turn around and open the doors.
Yeah.
Before we go anywhere, sir, we are, in fact, on a job right now. We are entering a potential crime scene, so please do not touch anything. We're not on evidence collection, but we are cataloging, so don't remove anything from the crime scene, okay?
There's a really long pause. And then he goes, right, yes, don't touch anything. Yes, understood. And there'll be no one in here with us?
Just us.
Hopefully.
From what I know.
Understood. This is like official FBI business then. I'm excited. All right, well, in we go then.
And go ahead, Jim.
Oh, I was just going to do a bit, so proceed.
Okay, so you head in through the double doors, and inside is quite different from the exterior. Much more what you're kind of used to for a New York apartment building, and standing sort of in the lobby, from where you are, there is like hallways leading off to your right and your left, with apartments on either side. And I will place, when we take a break later on for ease of navigation, I will place the floor plan for the building, which was also in the manila envelope for you. I will place that in our handouts chat, so you'll have a frame of reference. And it's standing sort of in the lobby itself. There's a Hispanic-looking gentleman. Let me just check. He looks to be sort of an American-looking gentleman in his maybe early 30s. His shirt and tie and slacks, but he is wearing an NYPD windbreaker and has his badge visible on his belt when he turns to you. He goes, "Feds?"
That's me.
IDs. We whip them out.
Yeah, I mean, he barely
Eliza
glances.
takes hers out.
Yeah, he barely glances them at this point. He seems relieved that you're there. Detective Guadiander, currently in charge of the case. Listen, I'll be honest with you. Glad you're taking over. I have never seen anything like this shit. Here. And he reaches into his pocket and produces a card that has his name, rank, and contact details in there. Do you have everything you need?
It would be cool if you could maybe elaborate on this shit, as you said.
And he gestures down the hall to his right. He's like, Amanda's apartment's in there. See for yourself. Just, I will do whatever I can to assist you, but I would rather stay out of your way and let you do your jobs.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how bad?
Depends what you consider bad.
Hmm.
I'd say on a scale of 1 to 10 for weird, about an 18.
Now I have to see it.
Yeah, just don't lose sleep over it. And he palms the card into your hand there, Eliza, and leaves the building, goes past and leaves the building.
He like exits, Broderick turns, and he's like, I'm very confused. I thought we were going to look at art and I was going to discern art, and I mean, no art is so weird that you rate it like that. I mean, he seems dastardly unexcited about this, and I thought I was just consulting about some pieces of art. What am I about to see?
I mean, sometimes art, it challenges the human psyche. That's what it's meant to do. And perhaps there's a whole new style of art that we are. It's like the Back to the Future. You aren't ready for this, but your kids are gonna love it. I don't know if
he
that
just kind of
movie's out.
nods in complete not understanding what you're saying.
Perhaps you can
Maybe
expand
the
your art
officer
repertoire,
isn't an
Broderick.
art person.
All right, well, carry on, I guess. It just seems odd. Never really. I've always just kind of talked to the police about whether or not their paintings were fake or their. Anyways, it's fine. Everything's fine.
So you have an eye for detail. Interesting. To keep on that.
He'll walk with you, of course.
Yeah.
I guess I should I go in first? Should we send the art guy in first? Are we doing?
How
do you know
about-
what to do?
How about I go in first?
Yeah.
Okay.
You seem like a fantastic young man, and I would love to see you do your work.
Absolutely. So I'll probably go ahead and into the room.
Toss
Slowly,
your
like,
keys.
cool. I catch the keys and then walk toward the door and slowly put the key in the lock and slowly push it open. Just kind of give my mind a moment to prepare for whatever's in that room.
Remmy, as you slowly swing the door open to her apartment, you glance around the rest of your group, kind of standing in the doorway behind you. Some probably curious, looking over your shoulder, others perhaps not as excited, given Detective Guadana's enthusiastic recommendation. And all you see is what can only be described as a testament to methodical madness. The walls and the ceiling are covered in layers of paper and objects epoxied in such a bizarre but seemingly meaningful pattern of strata. Most of the items can't be unstuck without damaging them. You could see that straight away. Like it's the glue has been caked on. So because of that, very little was taken down by the NYPD. It's all still there. Sort of more pronounced from the rest of the stuff. On the walls you can see spots where, placed on the floor in the center of the room and already tagged for you, a transistor radio, a small tape player, and a CD Walkman have been wrenched from the wall. Eliza, make a either a criminology or a law check for me.
You got it.
Did anybody bring a camera?
Is it criminology or law?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that is a failure. That's a 64 on my law of 30, so.
Okay.
Dungeon Master, I am quite proficient in both criminology and law, if you would like me to make one as well.
Yeah, go ahead. If you're looking in the room, then you can do the same thing.
I have rolled a 55, and both of them are set at 60.
Okay, yeah, you would know probably the reason they wrenched these devices from the wall in the first place is because they've all got serial numbers. So the NYPD probably tried to track them. And you can see the Walkman actually left behind a chunk of plastic from its casing that still epoxies onto the wall. Carrying on your once-over of the room, Remy, the floor is bare. The rug has been ripped up and taken away, and you can see battered and stained linoleum that lies underneath. There's no furniture. Some of you see spaces where you would, your brain goes, TV and VCR should probably be there. It's not there. All that sort of thing. So yeah, you can enter the room if you wish and start to have a bit of a closer look. That's just what you see at like a cursory glance.
Yes, I would like to enter the room. I will enter the room and start looking around at all the pictures and all the connections on the wall and the floor.
Right, is everybody doing that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
Nobody's
am
standing outside.
I am going to go over. You said there was a ham radio?
Yes.
I would have had experience with that. I'm going to go and see if I can just get that thing, see if there's perhaps a particular frequency it was already tuned to.
Okay, well, I'll make a point of doing that momentarily. First thing I want to do, does anyone have a search of 40 or higher?
Yes.
I do.
Search?
That's stealth.
My base search is 20.
Okay, so I mean, it's fine. Everyone with a 40% or higher, as you
40, I heard
Yeah,
wrong.
I do have a high search, yes.
as you enter the room, you see sticking out, because the rug's been ripped up in Amanda's apartment. You see sticking up from the base of Amanda Wright's door is a tiny microphone under the hallway rug. And from this angle, it looks as if it's been like placed under the rug, as if to record sounds from inside Amanda's apartment.
Interesting.
Eliza will point at it, just in case anybody didn't see it. And then she'll put a finger to her lips.
And you can see, as you're looking at it, Eliza, that it's on a wire under the rug that appears to lead down the hall. You also find a cardboard box in the apartment marked Evidence, FBI White Plains, Wright A, 10th of August, 95. Contains 4 Polaroid cameras and about 100 packs of film. No, exactly 100 packs of film, because that's what it's labelled on the side. You would know, Eliza, from having done cataloguing work before, particularly a lot of this crap is what they give the newbies to do. It would allow you to take, you estimate, roughly 800 photographs. In addition, there are latex gloves, evidence bags, stickers, sealing tape, as well as a manifest list for the contents of this box.
Quickly, do I have any latex gloves on me? Like ones that I know are unused?
You have a forensics kit.
Ah, wonderful.
You would
Okay.
know. Yeah. But you know,
I'm
this
going
is
to-
from this is from the initial FBI investigation I mentioned before, when they looked into it, and then it was turned over to you. So this is the box of evidence they left behind. You summarised that this was intended for whoever was going to take the case over next.
So we just get to look through this then. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll have a look inside.
All right.
See if I can.
This is what I normally
glean
get when I
anything.
work for the FBI. This is what they always have me do. And he kind of walks over to the box.
Okay. Whoever's
right,
checking the box out, you can make an intelligence times 5 roll or a bureaucracy roll for me. Any of you can attempt that if you wish.
So bureaucracy is 40 and I rolled a 25.
Okay, that's a pass, yeah.
Yep. Yes.
I rolled a
Broderick just starts
35
playing with the camera.
under my bureaucracy of 40 as well. So we're both gonna pass.
Okay.
Okay.
So you figure out from just looking through the sheer volume of stuff in there, it would take 8 days for one person to go through this, 6 days for 2, 4 days for 3, and 3 days for 4 people.
And that's in one box.
Yeah.
We don't have time for this, do we?
We don't.
You can. So the way this will work is you can spend a day documenting the contents of the apartment. And I'll give you 2 search rolls per day for each agent. Each successful roll will yield access to one of the clues contained either within the box or within the mess of epoxy and paper mache on the wall.
And just to be clear, that was part of our job, right? To catalog everything.
Correct.
Okay, cool. So
I look through the room, DM. Does Broderick see any like patterns or anything that he would recognize as like art or any of symbology, anything that's like symbols that he would recognize, anything like that?
Everything appears deliberately placed. There's no. It's like intended to be random, but not. It's off-putting to you. You've seen art like this often described as like outsider art, and like whoever did this sees the world differently.
Wrong voice. I don't really understand what this artist was trying to tell me from this collage of stuff that we see here. I can tell that it's intentional, and everything that is intentionally done in the form of art is a form of art, of course, but I don't really see the interpretation here. I think my services are lacking a void here. What exactly are we looking for here? What am I trying to find?
I mean, that's the question. That's
I need to figure out what happened.
That's it.
I see
I mean,
anything
what's it called?
particularly.
I've solved it. Someone broke in and they moved the furniture and they made art out of it. I have solved the case.
So you're thinking it's just a rogue art installation?
I don't really understand. If it is, it's not the best work I've seen. So probably not, but that's the best I could come up with. I feel like that was a solid first draft.
Let's dig a little deeper.
Yeah, to continue searching, you'll have to do as I mentioned and spend the day doing so. Before we do so, the walkie-talkie, the radio. You look at it, Desmond. It's a backpack-sized camo green radio that's appears to be was fastened to the wall with some sort of amber resin. That part's actually still on the wall. The control panel and the telephone on it are free. You take a quick look at it, and you're like, "Oh, this doesn't look broken. You could probably turn it on."
So I briefly turn around. I can get this thing working, and we can maybe get a bit of an idea what Amanda was listening to or talking to. These things can go both ways. And I sort of just point at the microphone. Are we just cool with that?
I mean, there was also a tape recorder on the floor as well. So maybe you should look into that too.
I'm honestly not sure whom that belongs to, so perhaps if we have anything really pressing, we should discuss it somewhere else.
Perhaps Liza's right. I mean, point to the floor.
He'll pull out his Nokia brick, and in the typical fashion of old-fashioned text messages, he will begin like 666-3322-666-445-881-666, trying to like make the Nokia make the message out, and he'll kind of turn it around so that everyone could see what he's typed, and he'll say like, "Should we follow the wire on the ground to see where that goes?" with a question mark.
That's quite clever of you. What say you, Desmond, Eliza? I vote yes.
Yeah, that seems about right.
The more of us will go, I guess, the better we'll be. This is going to take.
So let's just keep looking around the room then. We'll just keep looking around the room and everything will be fine. I'm sure we'll find some sort of artistry here that'll mean something to us. Desmond, I'm going to look over here on this side. Why don't you look over there? And he starts like stomping his feet like he's walking somewhere. And why don't you walk with me, Eliza? Why don't you come over here? And he just kind of acts like he's going somewhere. And then in his eyes, he kind of nods his head like, make your way quietly this way.
Actually, can you pass me that notepad? I think I'm going to write this down.
He hands you his Nokia phone.
Yeah.
Beep, beep.
He's gonna...
Boop, beep, boop.
Yeah, she's just going to. Probably make a record of some of the things in the room, especially the microphone, because that is extremely strange.
Okay. What do you want to do now?
I think we're trying to quietly follow this wire to see where this wire
Wire.
goes.
Okay. And you're all going, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah.
You follow the wire down the hall, and now you know where to look. It is quite pronounced under the rug. You follow it to an apartment down the hall. Leads in under the door.
Broderick holds up a hand.
Yes.
Just to kind of, and then he puts a hand to his lips. And you see he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out what looks like a leather wrapped package that he's been carrying. And he goes, don't tell the FBI that I still have this. They took it and I might have taken it back. And he pulls out a set of lock picks.
Okay.
Can I pick the door?
You make an intelligence ×5 roll first, please.
Is this roll going to tell me that I need to check first to see if it's unlocked?
Make the roll.
That is a 2. 002.
Wow.
I mean, you can't really crit this. This is a... Do I tell you or not that it is currently about 3 in the afternoon and the occupant is probably home?
Oh, we totally knew that one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I don't think that wasn't
Yeah,
a question.
probably.
We figured someone's in there listening.
We're not worried about their privacy.
clearly they're invading ours, so you know.
Well, it also was not our home.
Fairly
I mean,
confident
true.
that
Like clearly,
at
they're
least
invading
3 of the 4 of
someone's
us are
place.
fed, so we can talk our way out of this one.
All right,
And yeah,
if you want to proceed, you can do so, yeah.
He just looks at y'all and he kind of waits for like affirmation, like can I do it?
Yes.
And then he like goes to put his picks in the doorknob, and then he looks up. He goes, "Yeah, or we could knock. We could knock."
Decisions.
Eliza will step up to the door and just.
What's
I
he
don't know if
going
you
to
can hear
say?
that. I'm knocking on my desk.
What are
You
going
see,
to
he
say?
just reluctantly puts his lock picking kit away.
There's a moment, and you hear some movement at the door. Chain coming off, and then door opens. You see Hispanic man in his mid-20s. Opens the door. He's got short, dark hair. Maybe 5'8", not super tall for a dude. Can I help you?
Yes, hello. My name is Eliza Bishop. I'm with the FBI. She'll show her badge. We're conducting an investigation right now into a missing person.
You're talking about Laura.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Manuel, Thomas Manuel. And he extends his hand.
Nice to meet you. We had a question about this wire. Is the wire on the floor?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So she sort of kicks it with her foot.
And he just he looks down at the floor and just kind of shrugs his shoulders what? Very strange.
Do you have any idea how it got here? Can I make a human int check on this man?
I was getting there too.
Sure, yeah, you can both do that.
God
Okay.
bless. And I somehow lose my D100 every single time.
32 under my human int of 80.
He appears legitimately confused.
I got a 16.
I see. Well, do you have any other strange occurrences that you could tell us about? Has anything else been happening in this area?
Other than Laura, no.
What is this Laura's last name? Do you know it perhaps?
Oh, right, yes. Amanda. Laura was her middle name. It's what I called her.
Ah, understood. Thank you.
Before we go, though, hey, I'm new to this area, and I'm looking around, and I don't happen to see any kids in your apartment, and I'm looking at, do you happen to have any children that, any of the school districts around here? And I'm trying to see where I should put my child at for school.
No children here. We are artists of fashion.
No one else lives with you? It's just you here?
Just me.
Can I don't know what inside check in this game is. Can I inside check
That's
that?
human, and yes, you could do that.
Human. 10%, eh? Cool. 45.
It's a fail. Yeah, I mean,
Righteous try.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. I look back to the group. Yep, he's answered all of my questions.
I'd look around the room for what the wire connects to in this room. 'Cause
he's
obviously, it's got to
standing-
connect into a
he's standing
computer.
inside the doorway with the door. You can't really see into the room.
Ah. Could we perhaps come in to speak a moment?
Sure, please. And he steps aside and swings the door open as you all enter. Thomas's apartment is.
I'm gonna hang by the door frame and just sort of lean in it.
Okay, noted. Thomas's apartment is austere, to say the least. There's no art of any kind. No books on art, no art materials, no art of his own making apparently present.
Mhm.
It looks somewhat like a hotel suite. It doesn't really feel like a home.
Very interesting apartment you have here. And you said this was a place for artists, correct?
Correct, yes.
Hmm. Right. So, have you heard anything, perhaps any strange noises coming from, as you called her, Laura's apartment in the last couple of days?
Nothing unusual.
What's usual?
Usual for an apartment building with other people living in it. I last saw her on the 28th of May, and didn't hear anything unusual coming from it from the last time I saw her to when the police arrived. It was a few days later, the 5th maybe.
And you said it's a pretty austere apartment.
It is, yeah,
So like literally nothing of note.
correct.
Got it.
You know, I consider myself a bit of an artist. I when I finish a piece of work or when I do anything of the sort, I have my art strewn about for me to see and for me to gaze at my own glory. But when I look around your apartment, I see nothing that you've done. Where is all of your art at? Where's your sketchbooks? Where's your color? Where's your paint? What is your medium?
Oh, yes. The night manager, Mr. Castagna, he lets me work in the basement at night. That's where I keep all of my materials.
See, what materials do you use exactly? I'm a big fan of oil paintings personally, but what do you use?
Yes, I am a painter. Roll your art for me there.
Thank you. I have rolled a 47, and my art is a 70.
Yeah, you take a moment and you're like, Thomas Manuel. And you're like, yeah, he's quite an accomplished painter. He's considered sort of a fiery, sort of a bit of an upstart. Like, he's received quite a bit of praise for someone so young, particularly in art circles where, tends to be the...
What about... Sorry, with my knowledge of art, what about Amanda? Was she also a relatively up-and-coming artist?
And you'd not heard of Amanda before, no?
Interesting. Matter of fact, the more I think about it, the more I think I know your name. You are quite the artist, aren't you? I'd love to talk about more of your work sometime if you have time.
And he kind of looks down at the ground, like his feet kind of a little bit. This guy is not a people person. It doesn't take a huge human role to tell. And he's just kind of, oh, thank you. I try.
You keep on keeping on then, but and I just kind of glance over to the side now that I've stepped in the room. Can I see where the wire is?
I'm gonna say you can make a search roll for me.
That would be a fail. My search is only a 20, and I rolled a 57.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna say you step in to try and take a bit more of a look around, and Manuel kind of moves. It almost in parallel to you.
Everything all right there, bud?
Oh yes. I do not. Are you allowed to just look around?
Yes, that's literally what it stands for when you're in the FBI. It's, search and find things. That's my whole job.
Persuade. Make a persuade roll for me.
Glorious purpose.
You know yourself that you would have, when you were on the other side of this conversation, you told many an FBI agent to come back with a warrant more than once.
I rolled a 63 and I have a 60. Fuck. Oh.
He narrows his eyes just for a second. not so sure. Look, I want to help, but there's not much I can tell you. I'm sorry.
Well, in the interest of keeping things art related, as you said, you're an artist. Might we see the place where you work?
I
I
don't.
myself am a purveyor of certain kinds of arts, and I'd be curious.
I mean, I don't want to know what good it would help you with the investigation, but certainly, if you want, yes, I can do that.
Shall we?
And he leaves the apartment with you, Remy. I'm gonna say both Eliza and Desmond make an intelligence ×5 check here.
I think Eliza's gonna hang out with Desmond because she walks over to him. She's like, "We definitely don't have a warrant, right? This is not."
No, we definitely no. But why would we have a warrant? No, we're just anyway. I did succeed on my roll.
Remy, whether it was his intent or not, has hit upon Manuel's sort of artistic ego. Let me take a look at your work. And Thomas Manuel has just left the room. The pair of you are now alone. Well, with
microphone.
company. Yeah, but you are now in the apartment, and he is gone.
Can I
jump to you momentarily, Remy? Not a problem.
Can I notice? Do I notice that they didn't leave the room?
Well, yeah, you're still standing there as well, right? Or did you go with them?
Well, I would have walked out with Remy and Thomas.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they didn't come with you, so you'd notice. Like,
does Thomas appear to have noticed that they didn't walk out the room?
Now, Thomas is more than enthusiastic at a chance to show his art off to somebody. And he's not thinking.
Okay. I'm going to keep him busy then. I would well, tell me more about your art then, Thomas. Tell me what it is that you paint, and I'm going to try to keep his attention on me and not turning around.
Okay. That's fine, yeah, and he starts to take you down towards the basement, and I'll come to you in a moment. So, with that in mind, Eliza and Desmond, you can search the apartment here now, if you wish. Make search rolls.
Maybe it's in our best interest to do this quickly then.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can't believe it was that. Holy shit, that's a 92.
Well, I mean, I got a 9, so.
Well, there you go.
Good stuff. All right, so.
All right.
The noise of the city is really starting to lean in on you a bit, even here in the apartment. You're like, remember for the first time in a while why the wilderness always seemed like a much better idea. Liza, you don't have the same issue, and as you're looking around the apartment, you discover a few things. First of all, you find a hidden recess in a plastic plant base. When you open the recess, there are some odd things inside. There's several audio cassettes, pages of what looks to be some writing of some kind, type font, like a typewriter font, and a bronze medallion. The cassettes aren't labelled at all, and you can see that certain portions of that typewritten pages are underlined in red ink. The medallion looks quite exceptionally made when you're looking at it. You also find a cassette recorder with the microphone wire on the other end. And you realise, this is what's connected to the microphone that you found in Amanda's apartment.
Is it currently recording anything, Mark?
It's not. No, it's not on.
Okay, so all right. Hey, Desmond, some weird weird stuff in here. Come take a
Yeah,
look at this.
I did sort of just watch you search because you seem to be doing way better at it.
Yeah.
w-
Are you all right, by the way? You seem a little like. Do
I
you have a
don't.
headache?
No, I don't like being in. I like living in the dark woods alone.
Okay.
Anyways,
Yeah.
that's the sketchiest medallion I've ever seen.
Now the question is, like, do we have any way to record this, or do we just
Yeah,
take
I
it?
mean, we could take. Were you not going to take it?
I mean, if the owner of the house comes back and finds their weird calls collection missing, then we're gonna be in some trouble. Because we don't have a warrant for this.
You think he's going to come and mess with what he believes is the FBI to get back his illegally recorded tapes? Where he is definitely violating this woman's privacy.
You know what? You're right. Yeah, let's just take them.
And you're sort of idly glancing around the room at this, and you like wander over, still conducting your search there, Desmond. You wander over to the fridge, and you pop the fridge open, and there's like standard sort of foodstuffs in the fridge. But as you look over at the food, you realize all of the expiration dates on this food are from 5 months ago, and not a single crumb of the food is rotten. Can you make a sanity check for me, please?
Woo! Both of us?
No, just you. You're the one that looked in the fridge.
Fuck
You
it.
found your search roll, so you were distracted by food.
That's a 21.
That's probably a pass, right? Imagine.
Oh god, what am I rolling?
Sanity.
Sanity.
Said, oh yeah, big time.
Yeah, so you don't take any loss there, but you are definitely. Oh, right. Okay. And now we'll just move on over to Remmy and Broderick and Thomas Manuel as you head down to the basement. And he takes you down there and sort of gestures around to the corner. Says, one of the small rooms just around the corner is my studio. Please, go ahead. And he gestures in the direction of the room, invites you to go take a look.
It's wonderful. And I will 100% follow wherever his gesture was.
I'll fall behind Broderick slowly, but keep an eye on Manuel and Broderick.
Okay. So you head into Thomas Manuel's studio. You poke around and the place stinks of oils and paint thinner. Make a search roll for me first of all, please.
That would be 22.
70.
So that's a pass for me.
That's a big fail for me.
Remember, you realise that it hasn't been used in some time, this room. There's a blank canvas labelled My Great Work. 3 plastic pails of linseed oil are carefully stacked up in the middle of the room, and there is a note that is taped to them that reads, "For Sammy pickup." Various paintings stacked to the side.
Interesting. Is Manuel in the room with us?
No, he's waiting out at the foot of the stairs to the basement area.
Gotcha. And what were they that said for Sammy pickup?
Just several paintings. I can be taking a look at them.
Gotcha. Is there anything else in the room besides the paintings
No.
and just the oil materials? Okay.
I want to look at the paintings specifically. Do I see anything of interest or of note about these paintings?
There are some concerning images. You see in one a child-sized clown in yellow and blue cavorting on a stage with a white paper dragon trailing behind it. In a second, there's a haunted image of a white-faced spectre standing on a rug at the top of stairs in the midst of a fiery conflagration. The rug is like a strange aquamarine colour. The third, a young thin man with wispy thinning blonde hair wearing a hospital johnny is duplicated in a mirror, but his mirror twin is deformed and muscular with a misshapen head.
Interesting.
Do I see
I
these as
kinda-
well?
Say that again, Remy?
I was saying, do I see these as well as he's looking over them?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna poke my head out to him, to Thomas behind us. I have to ask. These are immaculately done, and they are absolutely beautiful in all respects. So, first thing I want to say is you are amazing, and I can't even believe I'm getting to see this. I'm so excited. What is your inspiration for all this? I mean, this is some of the most beautiful art I've seen, yet it's so different, and it just pushes the boundaries so much. Where are you getting all of this?
He stops at the moment, sort of his brow furrowed a little. Yeah. Difficult to say. Have more. The nighttime is my friend, I suppose.
So you saw them in dreams then? It was in your dreams you saw them?
Maybe. That is
Interesting.
probably the best answer, yes.
I mean, I see wonderful images in my dreams too, but I've never seen anything such like that. That dragon is gorgeous, and man, I wish that my dreams were as kind to me as yours must be to see things like this.
Dreams, yes.
I don't really think I need to human that one. I just kind of look back towards Remmy. What do you think?
I think these paintings are exquisite. I mean, the detail is unreal, almost ethereal in nature. I'm actually quite surprised they're able to do this. Well done.
Thank you. Is that all you would require from me today?
I don't think I need anything else. Do you need Remmy?
Question. This blank canvas, your next piece?
My current piece?
Yes. Any ideas as to what you might paint? Maybe get a bit of an artist insight?
Ooh, a sneak preview.
Yes.
The truth, maybe.
The truth. I like the sound of that. I look forward to your finishing the piece when the time comes.
Thank you. I am tired. It is getting late. And he looks down at his watch, and you guys realise it's about it's maybe 5:30 now in like August. The sun's getting relatively low. It'll be night soon. So.
I suppose you're right. I mean, all right. That's pretty
I
fair.
can't thank you enough for allowing us this opportunity to see this art. I can't wait. You're going to be famous one day. I have a feeling about it.
Really so, I agree.
Well, with that, have a marvelous day, Mr. Thomas. And you keep doing it. Perhaps the truth will be your best work of all.
One can surely hope.
And he nods and turns and heads back up the stairs, and would assume that you follow, unless there's anything else you want to do.
The pickup for Sammy, I was thinking, so it's just like various pieces to pick up and give to whatever this person is.
I would assume so, yeah. I won't even make you roll for that. Desmond will probably confirm that, yeah. That's probably what that means.
Is there any
I'll roll.
smaller pieces of art that look like he wouldn't miss them too much?
Sorry, I meant to say Broderick would confirm that. No, there are only those 3 large paintings in here, and then the blank one.
Give me just a second.
Pity. All right. Well, up we go. And I'll go up and meet where I assume I would have given them enough time by this point. I will hopefully see them in the hallway waiting for me, and I'll head upstairs.
I would assume so as well, unless Eliza, Desmond, do you want to do anything else?
I think we're long done with our search by now. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, I think so.
I'm
Eliza
just
will have
mumbling
confiscated the tapes, medallion, and a print that she found. Just take
Okay.
it and try to replace everything as she found it. And then she'll be leaning against the wall, sort of waiting for them to come back.
Right, and
After
Thomas
when
shuffles
Go ahead.
past you and into his apartment again, and pulls the door to before standing there and looking at you all out in the hall.
Did you enjoy your art tour? Oh, sorry.
I wish you the best of luck with your investigation. You know where I am if you need to ask me any further questions.
Thank you for all your help and cooperation.
I thank you. Best of luck. And he shuffles backwards and closes the door. Slowly, you hear the latch click shut.
Broderick will put a finger to his lips and kind of gesture to the room that he knows the mic is in, because we don't know if he's going to turn it on or not to listen in on us.
Okay.
And then he'll, talk without saying anything as he does. And look, I think we have definitely gotten everything we can out of here. Why don't we go ahead and check out all of our findings somewhere else? See if we can find any clues. Like FBI agents.
Absolutely.
Of course.
Lead the way, or perhaps we should leave as a group.
And I'll head out of the building.
It's been quite the long day. I think we're clocking off soon, everyone. So let's finish our reports.
Right. Or we're
And
going
you
back
can-
to the previous room.
Yeah, and you would have booked hotels either separately or together. I'll let you decide. In Manhattan itself on the FBI's dime. Are you all staying together or are you staying separate?
I assume we'd stay separate, but I don't know.
I think
Would it be safer to be separate?
I know a lot about art.
I'll be fine.
Separate it is, I suppose.
you'll humor me for a while after they've left the building here. If you'll humor me for a while, I found something in that man's apartment that we might want to take a look at.
Oh,
Should we get to the bit of food and compare some notes then?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, actually, now that you mention it, none of the food in that place was eaten,
What do you
but
mean?
it was all expired.
Yeah.
Like an IKEA display kitchen.
The
That's
house.
nasty. Did you tell him he should throw out his food if it's rotten? That's gross.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't stop stealing the evidence we're looking for to remind him of his dietary habits.
So, was the food okay? Help me understand. So,
Canned food, all preserved but still expired. That stuff goes bad over a really long time.
but it wasn't. It didn't look or smell that way, did it?
I mean, it's mostly sealed, but the dates were all wrong. 5 months at least. Like
5
it was
months?
all bought to last to 5 months ago.
Just for clarification, there it was the food in his refrigerator, and it was like chicken, ham, like it wasn't canned food.
Oh, I thought you meant like he had a bunch of like processed preserved stuff.
No.
You mean like
5
groceries?
months.
Okay, so never in that case. Then no, it's all spoiled. The fridge is. It looks like a college dorm's fridge.
But he seemed. Huh. All right.
Did he seem like he's eaten much?
I don't actually know. He seemed spacey to me.
Yeah, he did.
The whole house didn't feel very lived in, did it?
What
It
about
was-
the spooky basement?
So
Was he hiding anybody down there or what?
I tell you what, he had the most disturbing paintings I've ever seen. He had this like golden dancer with a white dragon, and
What?
yeah, it was weird. And he had like a clown, and they were
Yeah,
really
yeah,
strange.
the clown
ones.
with the dragon that had the mask
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw
How-
that.
You saw it?
Can you make a sanity check for me,
Oh
please?
shit. They're already in my hand. 97. That's a fail.
Uh-oh.
You take 1 sanity loss as Broderick regales the image of this painting, and you recall what you saw in the park earlier that day.
Do I still get that out?
What's that?
Do I still say that? Like out loud, like that is the thing I was referring to earlier.
It's up to you.
Okay, I do want to say that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that was what I was talking about earlier, and I gestured to the two of them. That was the thing that was disappeared. The
So
dude.
you actually saw that?
Yeah, I guess he did too. They must be performing all over, and I mean, if I could draw, I would probably draw him. Very interesting.
I'll make a note of that actually.
Here, we're out of earshot. Like we're in a room, right, Mark?
Yeah, you're probably just standing in the hall at this point, but it is
Go
getting
in
late,
real quick.
and just to move things on just a little bit, you can probably take the evidence box back to whatever hotel to catalogue, or you could stay here and catalogue. It's completely up to you, but that would probably be your next move, or questioning other inhabitants of the building. But it's up to you what you want to do.
Would you rather? I mean, Eliza, you did say you want to show us something, so maybe we should get out of here?
I think so, yes. I'm actually not sure that I trust the scene to be untampered with when we return tomorrow, though, so.
Oh no, we should take the box and.
Leave?
Yeah.
I mean that ham radio isn't going anywhere. I could see if I could get it on before we leave.
Don't let me forget to check that tape recorder.
Maybe
You
we
did
can
take it,
finish.
obviously, right? You took the tape, the whatever where the wire went. You
Yeah,
took that,
yeah,
right?
we jacked him.
Oh, great. Okay. For a minute, I thought y'all were like telling me you left it in there. That's pointless.
Okay. So are you now headed back to your relevant hotel?
Yeah, I grabbed the box.
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll grab the box,
We
go
gotta-
back. We'll listen to the audio that he has, and we'll
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'll.
Go over some stuff.
Wonderful thing about this game is with the investigation, a lot of the investigation, you can kind of play some of it on fast forward. Yeah, you guys head back to whether or not you are all staying together. I'll argue that as the faux agent in charge, you probably converge on wherever Eliza's staying, at least for the evening, so you can discuss the case. First thing you do is listen to the tapes, and it is just silence. Occasionally you hear footsteps that would, from using sort of your relevant knowledge of where the microphone was, they were probably footsteps from the hallway of people walking past. But it is just quiet. As for the box, I will let you all make one, because you get 2 search rolls each per day to get evidence out of this box. It's 6 in the evening now, so I'll let you all make one each.
Make mine. Don't you
That's
know? I have a question.
12, so pass.
All right. Well, what's that there, Broderick?
Did we listen to the entirety of the audio that he had?
Yeah, I'll say, for argument's sake here, that you put the tapes on like in the background while you're doing these search rolls and you're rifling through the papers, and by the time you get to the end of the evening, you've listened to like all of the tapes, and it's just hours of silence.
Never mind. That answers my question.
Um,
That is not a bad roll. What am I rolling? Search? I rolled an 11.
That's good. Yeah, and that is
93.
that's probably a fail. 11's a crit, so I'm going to give you 2 results for that.
And I got a 12, so that's a pass for me.
It's a pass.
Under 80.
A 23 under my 80, so that's also a pass.
All right, so that's going to be a total of 4 bits of evidence. 1 for Remmy, 1 for Eliza, and 2 for Broderick, who crit.
I was there.
Yeah,
I am
we're
the
also
surprise
sounds
tool
really
that
good.
will
You
help
eliminated the
me over
useless element of it. It's fine. Like, the stuff that was not important. Old receipts for like the bodega around the corner and stuff like that are not relevant to the case. You're like, she liked enchiladas. Great.
Can't blame her.
So you pick through. Remember, you find meticulous plans for odd mechanical machines that are drawn in ballpoint pen on what looks like unfolded thick paper napkins with gold initials in the corner, a GBR. One diagram is labelled LEAO, with a hyphen above the
The
A.
initials one more time.
No, the LEAO. It's above the A. Is like, I don't know what they're called. The
Accent mark.
yeah, like above the E in the name Peña in Spanish, for example.
Excellent.
The other is labelled Escriba.
Got it.
And you catalogue that way.
Got it.
Eliza, you find a letterhead. Elegant page of cream-coloured stationery. It's crumpled but new. The heading reads Hotel Broderick, New York City, in an Art Deco font. There's no street address. Scribbled in pen is a rudimentary map which shows an elevator. It's marked with an X and the word Elev, like ELEV, period. And various tunnels leading to a smaller X which reads JL Bottle. It is clear to you that this is not a map of the Macallister Building.
All right, well, I suggest we make a list of places that we should investigate, like further places we should investigate, because this is not the Macallister Building. And she puts the letter on the table.
There's no address. It's just An
It's
elevator?
It's the name of the place is on here. Perhaps we could ask around for it.
And I'll put links to all of these handouts, images. You'll see all of these physically in the handout. I'll do them after the end of the session. We're coming somewhat towards the end now.
Gotcha. Question: do I remember the name Roald Albin?
No, because that hasn't happened yet.
Got it.
Hello?
The last session was a flash forward of sorts. So.
Gotcha.
Then
Broderick, you find a large map drawn on butcher block paper showing a simplified architectural floor plan of the Macallister Building, along with an X marking each of the closets in the building. It was obviously drawn by an artist. Some of the closets are marked up with scrawled notes, such as door on 7/12, roses and butter, and man with briefcase and white shoes. In addition, the doors have been drawn in on the edges of the map next to the roof access door, with markings such as Mr. Cascagna and the parlour. They don't seem to make any sense. The third floor landing is marked night floors, with a big red X drawn in and a small notation reading dead guy in mask. On the second floor landing in the back is a sketch of a noose. The map shows no intentional irregularities in the construction of the building.
interesting.
That looks like a video game level. It's all the creepy encounters and dead man with mask. Hello? I assume I'm peering over people's shoulders because I can't find shit.
That's fine. Yeah. Anything that I say, I assume you will
Yeah.
be sharing, and it's like a group,
Do
investigation.
these initials mean anything to any of you? DBR?
It was GBR, just to be clear.
G, I'm sorry. G is in
That's
girl.
Actually, on the papers I found of these mechanical drawings, and gold ink, actually, I found one that did say GBR. But I have no idea as to what the initials mean.
Broderick, can you make an intelligence ×5 roll for me, please?
That'd be a 36, which is a pass.
You're looking at the Macallister map building where there's a third floor landing marked. In the Macallister building, there is only a ground floor, a first floor, and a second floor.
Point to the map. I go, there wasn't a third floor. This building's where you found me, correct? There's not a third floor. There's only two.
Perhaps the basement?
It clearly doesn't. Is the basement marked on the diagram?
No. It clearly says ground floor, first floor, second floor, third floor.
There's no basement marked either. It definitely says ground. I don't think they mean basement when they say ground. I guess they could, but it seems as though there's another floor. Maybe
Hey,
it's on the roof.
do you think they would? Perhaps, actually. It is another floor, but outside.
What's on the roof?
Well, if I do that, there's a red X, right, DM, on the.
Marked on the roof access door, yeah.
There's a red X right here.
And maybe not so concerned about what appears to be literal skeletons in people's closets.
Obviously.
You definitely check that out too, but red X's usually have really good things to look at from
Much
afar.
like a treasure map of sorts, I'm guessing.
I'm a large fan of red X's.
Made by a woman who went missing. Maybe don't go exactly where she went.
Maybe
Or
that's
maybe-
where she is. Maybe she's not missing. Maybe she's there.
Maybe she's on the 3rd floor.
The
Yeah,
one
the
that
roof.
seems to not exist, perhaps.
I mean,
Yeah, that sounds like a morning thing, for sure.
Yes, definitely not at night.
That's too
perhaps-
spooky.
There are. Perhaps there are further. And she puts up like quotes. She's like art installations
On the
that
roof,
she's
perhaps?
done at these places.
Broderick, you did find you scored a crit, so you found 2. The second thing you find is a portion of what appears to be a machine-printed ticket under the name of Whitwer, Michael, for United Airlines from LAS, that would be McCarran International Airport in Vegas, to Boston Logan on the 6th of June 2015.
what? 2050. That's a very long way away.
What do you mean? What do you see?
Look, can I show you the dated 2015? We're in 1995. That's 15 math.
It's a
15
misprint
years.
of
right?
some sort.
10 years.
Do you think it's
20
perhaps
years. It's
Eliza's
20 years.
right? Could it be as she said,
Misprint?
a misprint or a mechanical error?
I mean, sure, could be.
Hey, GM. Does Spirit Airlines exist yet?
Does what airlines exist? Sorry,
Spirit Airlines, that's the one you said, yes?
no, I said United Airlines.
Oh, United. I see. Never mind.
2015, 20 years from now. And where
That
was it going?
name, Michael, mean anything to me? Michael what is it, Whitmer?
Whitmar?
No, nothing to you.
What about the rest of us?
I can
Remy
check.
kind of sits back and is like,
You have
Yeah,
some of you have avenues to
Yeah.
do this sort of information.
I-
In Delta Green, I think Nina's onto it there, but I'll explain for the purposes of
Okay.
perhaps those that have never played before and listeners. Yeah, I mean, a lot of this game is investigation, and in Delta Green, you can use the assets from your real life job to, make calls and run down information. And I'm assuming that's what you were planning to do there.
Yes. Yes.
Good work, Agent Bishop. All right. Yeah, if you want to make a bureaucracy roll for me, please.
Okay. Perhaps it's better to call my boss in the morning about this, but I can make the roll now. We
Yeah.
can use it later. Ooh. 5.
It's a crit. So,
Figure out
What?
who this man is.
what I'm going to do is you would make a roll, and if this was a success, there would be like a little bit of a wait time on them fetching information and then coming back with the correct information. You give your boss a call. There's a few rings on the phone, and then. Yes, hello.
Hi, it's Eliza. I know it's really late, but we're trying to make a breakthrough on. This is embarrassing. What? Her name's Amanda, right? What's her last name?
all I know is her middle name. Wright.
I was like, I think it's right. I couldn't remember if it was right or right.
We're trying to make a breakthrough on the Amanda Wright case, and we found a suspicious, I guess, name that's been popping up in some of the evidence. Could you have a look for it?
Yeah, and you fax across like an image of this ticket, and straight away she tells you that does not look like a United Airlines ticket from '95, and nobody is sure where that comes from.
Some kind of a bad counterfeit, maybe? I don't. It's odd.
Some counterfeit.
Welcome back. So, before the break, our intrepid agents and their enthusiastic +1 investigated the Macallister Building, looking into the residents' suspicious and seemingly unaware of their own strange activities within. They also begin to catalogue the items found in the room of one Amanda Wright, of which many strange and unexplainable things begin to pop up. Crumbs that will ultimately drive them to madness, but we're not quite there yet. As we cut back to the agents now, who are settling in for the evening in their respective hotel rooms. What? Just before we finish up here, what do each of you guys do now that you're off the clock? Just give me a brief. We'll start with Remmy. What does Remmy do before he settles in for the night? Now that he's off the clock and on his own time.
So, Remy will probably brew a cup of coffee before and maybe sit for about an hour or so, pour over his notes, and go through a couple of books just to kind of de-stress, kind of mindlessly reading. Just letting his mind soak in whatever else he's encountered during the day. Eventually just slowly drifting off into sleep when he gets the time.
Okay. So, reads, I'm assuming, unrelated text to the case, but for fun.
Yeah.
He's 100% the sort of person that would read 19th century occult literature just for a laugh.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Just for fun.
Say Agent Bishop.
Okay. Eliza, in contrast to Remy's de-stressing, is re-stressing because she has taken out a journal and has meticulously cataloged everything that's happened during her day. Anything that she's found, anything that stood out to her, just anything that she observed, she writes it all down. And then when she closes the journal, she turns off the lights. She just stares at the ceiling for a couple hours, unable to sleep, thinking about the whole day again.
And as you're staring at the ceiling, your phone goes off.
Oh. She'll have a look then.
It's your partner.
Huh?
You answer?
She'll have a glance at whatever message came up.
No, he's calling.
Oh, he's calling. Okay.
95.
Hi.
Oh, honey, sorry, late. I didn't get the chance
Yeah.
to. How is it? How's it going?
Pretty awful, I'm going to be honest. I don't feel like we... It's just a tiring case. I mean, I think we made progress today, but everything is still in the early stages where it's really confusing.
Well, I'm here if you need to talk about anything, and chin up, no?
Thank you. It's nice to talk to you again. I'm sorry I haven't been home in a while.
Okay, I understand, and when you get back, we can get back to trying again.
Okay. I look forward to seeing you again. I'm sorry, I'm just really tired.
Oh, I'll let you get your sleep. Call me tomorrow.
If
okay?
I can get any. If I can get any, indeed.
Okay. And I love you.
I love you too.
Good night. Me.
Good night.
There's a click. We'll move on over to Desmond.
Desmond thinks best when he's doing something else. So he has jury-rigged a workout setup in his room, and his frame is much smaller than you would expect with all of the clothing that he wears. He has a very lithe frame, but it is very muscular, and across the chest there is a set of scars that run from clavicle almost down to the ribs, and they were made by something very big. But he's just sitting there as he does these absent-minded workouts, staring at that picture that Amanda drew where the closets and doors are labeled. He's just thinking about all the folk stories he's heard.
And finally, we'll move on over to Broderick. What do you do before bed?
Well, Broderick would probably take himself a nice hot bath, relax after his day, and then he would probably remember right before he goes to bed, and you'd see him in his bed, he's like, oh, shit! And he'd jump out of the bed and be like, I gotta check in with my parole officer. Oh, he's gonna be mad. And he's gonna like run out of the door to like go try to find his parole officer in the middle of the night to check in because he's probably missed it.
Okay. There is a message on your pager.
Oh. I'll check it.
It's from Agent Bishop. It says, come to the Macallister Building. Meet me on the roof.
I mean, I guess I was assigned to them, right? Yeah, I'll make my way over there.
Okay. And you... Newt never sleeps, and you can subway and cab over there with no problem, and you arrive at the Macallister Building roughly 30 minutes later. It's quiet.
Yeah, I'll text back. I'll be like, on like, or I say text. I'll page back and I'll just page like where the X is on the diagram. Is there anything important?
There's no response.
Shit, I guess you got ahead of me, huh? And I'll make my way up there. Like halfway up the stairs, I'll be like, are the other two with you?
Still no response.
Shit, all right. I don't want to be last. My parole officer is going to be super pissed because I am going to be super late. And I'll make my way up.
You head up the stairs in it's an apartment building at night. It's relatively quiet. And you mount the last staircase up to that roof door. And as you push the roof door open, it opens out onto what appears to be a smoking lounge of sorts. It's a large, inviting area resembling sort of turn of the 20th century men's club.
Let's go on rooftop bar!
The walls are covered in velvet wallpaper, and there's overstuffed armchairs of burgundy leather just dotting the floor. It is currently empty.
Is there a bartender?
You can't see anybody there, no.
Well, the best type of alcohol is free alcohol, right? So I'll make my way behind the bar.
You step through the roof door, and Mr. Broderick, as the roof door closes behind you, that is the last anybody ever sees of you. And the silence rings through the apartment building as you've unwittingly stumbled across the night floors. A place from which you may or may never find your way back from. And that is where we're going to end our session for this evening.